This is my review on the Supervee 27 Nitro. First, I'd like to say that I upgraded my throttle servo because the other one I didn't like the resolution on it, and it was noisy, and it was the gears were very loose, so there's a lot of play in the linkages. So I just put a Futaba S3004 in there. I put a watertight bag in there. I'm using 2.4 receiver. I'm using one of my Futaba Air receivers, so I just paid $100, so I wanted to keep it nice. Close this so no water can get in, but water still does find a way in a little bit. I put a air filter on the carb so that water doesn't come in when you flip it, because otherwise it's just a pain to start, and so oil doesn't squirt all over. Be sure you have Loctite on your muffler screws, because they tend to want to come loose sometimes. I always unplug the carb fuel line and stick a nail in it whenever I'm not driving it, because sometimes it evaporates even when it's closed and gums up, and fuel can leak out of there. Be sure to keep your head clean, because all the evaporation and the minerals in the water can cause buildup in there, so it gets clogged and then it doesn't cool as nice. But be sure you have new gaskets to replace it when you put the head back on. One thing I did is that the stock props are junk. They just first upgrade, get a metal prop. What I did, I also had to get a Aquacraft shaft. We had so many shaft problems, so I got an Aquacraft shaft. My collar's a little tight right now, but get an Aquacraft shaft. It's worked flawlessly, and an Aquacraft drive dog's like $2.50 a piece compared to the Aquacraft ones, which are like $8. And then just put a little Loctite on there, and you'll be set. Be sure to put a lock washer or some sort of washer on your nut so the nut doesn't back out. Be sure to keep your shaft well greased. Here, I'll set the camera down so I can get it open and get it out. Okay, well, I can't get it out right now, but anyways, be sure that you have really good alignment on there, because otherwise it breaks. They just break. You go through flex shafts like they're butter or something. And then get an upgraded collet there, because the other ones break into the whole driveline system wasn't very good on Aquacraft's part. When your glow plug goes out or burns out, I definitely recommend the McCoy MC9 plug. They've worked flawlessly for me. I really like them. That's a very good glow plug. One thing, I tried putting an airplane muffler in here to make it quieter, but I just lost so much power that it was just insane, so I had to put this one back on, the deafening one. And when you're adjusting your trim tabs, just a tiny bit goes forever. It makes the whole, it's like night and day. One other thing I did is that I moved the two different holes in the servo arms, because they were either too big or I got too little throw for the rudder. And I have my triple rate set up in my radio, so I can choose the rates I want and how fast I want it to turn, which is really helpful. Gas time, I'd say I get about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, yeah. 10 minutes out for one tank. And do not order touch-up paint from Kintec Racing. It does not match at all. Well, I had to mix black in there so it would kind of match. It was kind of difficult. And then for little nicks, I filled them up with epoxy and put them in. This is my dad's boat. I kind of crashed him due to all the Bondo and the touch-up paint. This whole bottom keel was all bad, and we just had crashed them into each other again. So we need to fix that. The Bondo isn't exactly working the best. We're gonna have to get some epoxy resin and some fiberglass tape and patch it all up nice. The starting stands are crap, by the way, too. We're gonna make some new ones. Well, that's pretty much my review on the Supervee 27 Nitro made by Aquacraft.